During the Cold War, the world lived under the constant shadow of nuclear destruction. Two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, were locked in a silent war of spies, secrecy, and science pushed to its absolute limits. But behind the official speeches, behind the polished press briefings, and far from the public eye, there were experiments happening that no one was ever supposed to know about. For decades, they were locked behind classified walls. But now, piece by piece, those secrets are finally coming to light. Today, we're uncovering the Cold War experiments that governments tried to bury programs so strange, so risky, and so unbelievable that many people dismissed them as conspiracy theories. Until now, our story begins in the early 1950s, when paranoia shaped policy. Both the US and the Soviet Union were terrified of falling behind. It wasn't just about who had more missiles, it was about who could control the future. And that meant pushing science into dangerous, untested, and often unethical places. One of the most secretive programs came from the United States, a project that remained hidden for decades. It was a psychological experiment designed to study mind control, behavior manipulation, and the limits of human consciousness. The government believed that if they didn't figure out these techniques first, the Soviets would. As recently declassified documents show, scientists were authorized to explore methods that would be unthinkable today. Many of the participants never knew they were part of an experiment. Some never understood what happened to them until decades later. But this wasn't the only hidden project. There were experiments that pushed the boundaries of radiation exposure, often justified under the banner of national security. Test subjects, sometimes volunteers, sometimes not, were exposed to materials and dosages that were far beyond safe levels. The data was valuable to the military, but the consequences were devastating for many of those involved. For years, families searched for answers. Only recently have official records confirmed what they long suspected. On the other side of the world, the Soviet Union was conducting its own secret experiments project involving fear, endurance, isolation, and psychological manipulation. Some focused on creating soldiers capable of surviving extreme environments. Others investigated how to break an enemy's will using only sound, light, and pressure. While many Soviet archives remain sealed, enough has been released to paint a chilling picture. Both superpowers believed the human mind was the ultimate battlefield. But among the most bizarre Cold War experiments were those involving animals. Researchers studied pigeons trained to guide missiles, dolphins tasked with disabling enemy submarines, and even attempts to use small mammals to deliver explosive devices behind enemy lines. Most of these programs never reached maturity, and many were abandoned quietly. But their existence reveals just how desperate the Cold War competition had become. There were biological experiments, two programs designed to explore how certain agents might spread under different environmental conditions. These tests were often conducted in public spaces without anyone being told. Ships sailing along coastlines released harmless simulants into the air, while sensors recorded how far and how fast they traveled. Officially, the tests were considered safe. Unofficially, some of the long-term effects are still debated today. And then there were the experiments involving sound extremely low frequency, waves designed to test whether emotions or behaviors could be influenced remotely. The idea was simple. If you could alter someone's mood or disrupt their concentration without them ever knowing, you could gain a tactical advantage. Most of these experiments didn't produce useful results, but they reveal a truth about the Cold War mindset. No idea was too strange to explore. But what may be the most unsettling experiments of all were the ones involving secrecy itself. During the Cold War, entire communities were unknowingly used as simulation zones. Researchers quietly monitored how people reacted to rumors, false alarms, or staged events. These experiments weren't designed to harm anyone. They were designed to understand how populations behave under stress because in a nuclear war, psychological stability would be just as important as military power. For decades, these experiments were buried under layers of classification. When rumors leaked, they were denied. When whistleblowers stepped forward, they were dismissed. Only recently, through declassified documents, investigative journalism, and the bravery of those who were involved, have we begun to understand what really happened. And here's the most surprising part. Many of these programs were not abandoned. They were transformed, reimagined, integrated into new research fields under new names. Modern technology, from psychological profiling to behavior prediction, Algorithms has roots tracing back to Cold War experiments once considered too sensitive for the public to know. Today, we look back and talk about the Cold War as if it were ancient history. But the secrets we are uncovering now tell a different story. They show us that the Cold War wasn't just a geopolitical conflict, it was a scientific frontier. A place where caution was often abandoned, ethics were blurred, and the belief in national survival justified experiments that would never be allowed today. As these secrets continue to surface, they force us to confront a difficult question. How much do we really know about the experiments happening right now? If so much was hidden in the past, what might still be hidden today? These Cold War experiments were designed to stay buried forever. But today, the truth is finally resurfacing. And as more classified files are released, the world is beginning to see just how far both superpowers were willing to go in the name of national security. If you want more deep dives into hidden history, forgotten programs, and secret government projects, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what topic you want next. Thanks for watching. The past isn't finished with us yet, because sometimes history's darkest secrets take decades to emerge.